Hello and welcome back to the show. So I'm really excited today to bring on my special guest, Antoine, who is a real estate agent based out of Hong Kong. And a little bit about Antoine, he is actually an expert in marketing and now AI for real estate agents. So it's going to be a really interesting episode here today because he has just recently authored his own book on the best ways for real estate agents to leverage AI technology for their branding, their marketing, and overall how to be more successful in the real estate business as well. So we're going to be digging a little bit into that, into Antoine's background, and also a little bit more about his experience being a real estate agent in Hong Kong, one of the most prestigious, most expensive real estate markets in the world today. So Antoine, welcome to the show, man. Super excited for you to be here, and thank you for joining us.
Hey, Kobe, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to always have a nice chat with you, and appreciate for the invite. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you can see here, it's Hong Kong. It's very early in the morning, so I apologize, but I need to have coffee to kick in. I had a kind of a late night last night because it was Friday, but we'll be okay. Coffee always helping.
Yep, absolutely, man. And appreciate you for taking some time early in the morning because I know you're busy. You're going out there, being active in the real estate business, showing us that you're still able to go out there and be successful while adding value to other real estate agents in the market as well. So before we get started, man, I would love for you to share a little bit about your background with our audience. I know when we first got connected offline before the podcast, you have a really unique and interesting background. So I'd love for you to share a little bit about that and really just how did you get into real estate and specifically into real estate as an agent in Hong Kong as well.
Yeah, sure. As you can hear, I'm come from the French part of Switzerland, so this is where my journey began. My first, will say my first background is sports, so I play ice hockey for a good part of my life. I ended up playing pro for a little while until I get injured and had to stop. But I play in France and Czech Republic. And then, while I had to find another things to do, and I'm quite a people person, so I went into sales because basically that was the only job I could get without any like degree and qualification. And I learned it like from the basic, going knock on doors and sell a lot of different like fun products from internet connection back in the days, vacuum cleaner door to door, and insurance and all type of like hardcore sales. So I learned all the cold calling, uh, learn how to get rejected, uh, door in my face, and all this like learning curve appear in my early stage, which went to be very useful later on in real estate to have that mindset that it's okay, if it's no, fine. So so that was the first part of me growing and evolving. And then I went to in 2005. Yeah, 2005. I decided to go. I saved up some money, so I went to London and decided to go back to school. So to catch up a little bit because I dropped out school at like 15. Actually, I didn't finish school. Drop out school to play hockey and thought I will be a superstar. And that didn't happen. And then so then I had to go to the real world and then I found out that it's quite hard and difficult. And then I went, I made some money, and then I said, okay, let's go back to school. So I registered in one of these like foundation year, whatever, in London to learn English and catch up a little bit on this. So I end up in a class with all the super smart Asian kids with like very bad English who could not go to the uni right away, and I needed to get the English there. So I connected with a super good friend there who was Korean, and we had great time. He took me to all this like Korean on the club, underground in London. It was a great time. And then after a year and a half there, I finished and graduate. And I got the opportunity to move a bit around and still have a little bit of money. And now I've been to the big city, right? I was in London and I was like, I don't want to go back to Switzerland. So I decided to take a backpack and go to Asia. I said, I want to discover Asia. And I was looking around and I said, well, I was in UK, London. Hong Kong is kind of the same system. Let's go check it out. So I booked a flight, went there, and went into the immigration tower and take all the information how it is to like immigrate in that excellent super city. And I see that it's very difficult. And I didn't get discouraged. I said, okay, well, let's figure out a way. So went back to Switzerland after that short 10-day trip, and a month later came back with a big suitcase, and I had no job, nobody sponsoring me for a visa, and I just went there to like, I'm gonna make it. I have no idea how, but I'm gonna make it. So I went there. And the funny stuff is that I happened to like find out that you need to have a special skills to get your visa in Hong Kong. So you cannot be hired just as a sales because there is plenty of local salespeople, right? So I was like, oh, what's my special skills? And obviously don't have a PhD, right? So I was looking, and then basically I was like, oh, I bet there is not much hockey players or ex-pro in ice hockey in Hong Kong, right? So that's a special skills, right? So I Google and I can see that there is an ice rink, and I'm like, okay. So I went there and then see people playing, and I'm like, oh, that's good. So I phoned my dad and I said, hey, my gear is still in the garage, dust it up, put it in the plane and ship it to me here. And then he's like, oh, okay. So he sent me my gear. So a week later, I have my gear. I go to the rink, and like I haven't played at that time. It was about probably 3 years. I haven't laced up the skates. But when you're pro, even though you don't play for a long time, you're a bit rusty, but you're still kind of good. So I play there, and then everybody's like, wow, you're super good. And then suddenly someone approached me and said like, hey, we are looking for someone to help with the national team. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, okay, nice. So I ended up landing my first job as the assistant coach for the national team. So I did that. And then from there, what happened is like the ice rink said like, hey, we are looking for a program director. So then I jump again, and then I work for it was called Mega Ice, the ice rink there, and I help like make the program for the kids, and starting to do a little bit of the marketing with newsletter and stuff like that. So basically grow the game. So I was super happy, give it back to the sport I love, and making some money back as well, which was quite nice, because savings go only so long. So it's nice to get sometimes some money in as well. And then what happened there? Oh yeah, so then after that, the next chapter, we went to a good friend of mine had an event company, and they did like corporate golf events. And he said like, I hear like your negotiation to renew your contract, the ice rink is not really smooth, because they try to, like cut it, steep cut, because I had like commission on the lessons and stuff. And I was working like from 7 a.m. to midnight, 6 days a week, right? And then they said like, okay, but next year we cap the maximum you can do. So I was like, I don't like too much that idea. And if it's that, then I will not work like the full time like I did before. So anyway, long story short, I jumped ship and I joined the company to do events. I also, because at the time I was still really focused into coaching, so I could not really coach more hockey. So we decided to launch our grassroots golf program, and I become like a golf coach for children. Okay, using modified equipment called SNAG, starting new at golf. Okay, and this was kind of a side project from the event company, and that person basically kind of mentor me how to like run a mini business. And he said, this is your opportunity to basically be your own mini entrepreneur, and I'm gonna let you run it, and let's see what you can do. When you're stuck, you ask me. So we did this for like 4 years, and then we built it up. To the concept was to go to international school and do like after school program. So we bring golf to the school. So we introduce the game, and then the kids who are like really into it, then I will transit them to like real pro, to like continue with the traditional golf. So we did that for 4 years, build it up to about 12, 13 international school, starting from scratch, from zero, and internet, Google, international school, Hong Kong, made a hit list, and then call them one by one, try to get the meeting with the principal and start the program. So that was a great learning experience. Yeah, spoiler alert, I didn't get rich with this, but it was very interesting, very rewarding to work with young children. And then business-wise, I learned tons because I did everything. I coach, I designed the flyers, I was the sales, knocking on doors and trying to find schools. So that was a good learning curve, and having to keep the books. And so before I was just only sales before that experience, but this gave me kind of the management side, and I had like part-time students that I hire for coaching with me. So I still had to manage them a little bit. So I would say that was kind of my first real management position, and marketing that was at that time. And then, life happened. So obviously I meet the girl. So there's a girl in the story. So we get together, and then we got married, and had children. We have two children. I have Chloe and Theo. They are about 13 and 11. And when my daughter was about to be born, suddenly I had the big like, oh, I'm a dad now, right? So I cannot be fooling around, just do what I love, and playing but not making real money. So I was like, well, what can I do? And I decided to pass my real estate license, right? And after I got it, so back in 2015, yeah, 2014, 2015. So I got my license, and I start my real estate journey here in Hong Kong. So it was not kind of like a typical smooth ride, and I was just in Switzerland and decided to come to Hong Kong and be an agent. It was a whole process of roller coasters of like things happening, but yeah, first company there was a great company. They were kind of like in a startup mode when I joined them, and then they had like an in-house chief technology officer, and they developed their own CRM for Hong Kong, and we connected because I'm kind of ADHD crazy, and I have my brain going in 6 million direction, and I'm also dyslexic, which means to survive into an environment when you have to juggle with a lot of clients, I need to be like super organized and have templates in place to reply, and I have like minimum input to basically write to the clients. So the downside of this is like people will tell you, yeah, but then, it's not very personalized and people hate, you can see this template, But if the template are made it quite nicely for the first to lead reply. If it goes very quick, I never had problem that people feel it's not personal, because I will just do the first line, but then all the rest, if templated and nicely put together, it goes. And then they see that I'm very organized, right? So we start to develop the tools together. I say, hey, you know what? It will be great if we could have this functionality and do this, and then they will test and implement, so that CRM become like super user friendly as a Asian point of view. And so I take a little bit of credit in this. And then it was fun, and I discovered actually in that year I just fall in love with real estate. I think before I was curious about it, but then when I start working in it, especially in a vibrant city like Hong Kong, and in the 2015 to 2019 when I work there in that company, the market was great. So we had tons of inquiries, a lot of expats coming in. So I meet like super interesting people, from the fresh new banker expat who come at the bottom of the food chain, who is like all exciting with stars in his eyes, like I'm gonna make it in the big corporate world, all that excitement, to the more like seasoned C-level people where you need to adapt a little bit. You have to be a bit more square. But so you learn to talk to all these people and the different energy, and then you have the opportunity to see some amazing apartment with like crazy views. So when you combine these two things, it's very hard, I think, to not fall in love with real estate. As you know, you're also an Asian, so you've been there. So that was the fun journey. And then my kids grow up, and the school system in Hong Kong is a little bit tough. So I was like, maybe we should move back to Switzerland. And then we start to have that conversation, and then my ex-wife, should I say, said like, okay, but you should go first. So I went first there, and the plan was for them to join me after a year, and that didn't happen. So we decided to split up, long story short, and COVID happened. So the COVID rules in Hong Kong was pretty tough, and was like 21-day quarantine. So no way to fly back. So I stayed by myself in Switzerland for about 3 years. There I joined Sotheby's Realty, and then I restart, to build my reputation, my brand with them. And it was also a very fun time, very different work approach from Hong Kong. So I went there, and people thought that I come from Mars or whatever, because I wanted to work on weekends. I was like calling when I received an inquiries. I was calling right away and sending them everything like within an hour. And people was like, what are you doing? Like, you chill, like very. So the culture there is like, and then I'm like, hey guys, you have weekend viewings? And they're like, no, I schedule my viewings during office hours. And I'm like, what? So I was like, I was like, okay, then please keep doing what you're doing. And I basically, because I've been Asianized, right? I've been in Asia for too long at that time. So that work ethic have been like ingrained in me. And so I work like the same crazy way, like super diligent with all my leads, reply right away, and always be available for viewing. I did a viewing on, the Christmas Eve. So I didn't care. I just, and my family was, not there. So all I had working hard. So I did this, and then guess what? When you do all this, I start to be like really successful out there, right? Because there is, no secret. Yes, you're right. I wrote a book about AI, how to leverage AI technology for real estate agents, but it's just a tool. Like now we have the tools, but I will spoiler alert. You still need to do the work. It's no secret. You still need to connect with people. You still need to like go knock on some doors sometimes, and just be a decent human being and talk to everybody. And we have people currency. Like the more people you know, the more people you talk to, the more successful you will be in this business. So quick parenthesis on my book. But anyway, after the COVID finished in Hong Kong, then I start to fly back to see my kids, right? And then it's still a 11, 12 hours flight. And then you need to drive to the airport, which is another 2 hours. So I quickly realized that this is not going to be sustainable and possible. And I decided to basically move back to Hong Kong in September 2023. So I basically give up the nice life of Switzerland. As an agent in Switzerland, you get the basic salary plus nice commission, but your basic salary is already enough to cover all your living expenses, like the basic one, I will say. But your flat, your leasing on your car, your insurance, your food, all this, you can comfortably pay everything with that. And then, of course, if you want a better lifestyle, then you get up early and you go knock on doors and you close deals. And then you can have more like fun money and saving money. But it's a decent, I will say the system is quite respectful to the agent, and you are given the tools and enough money to feel comfortable and not stress of how to eat at the end of the month, because you have like a proper salary. You have an office, usually with a door, and you have a car park space available to you, right? So this is quite a contrast when you come to Hong Kong, where in Hong Kong, the situation is a bit different for agent. If you're lucky, got some kind of like basic salary that basically it's paid cash to your transportation and go with your to go view with your clients, but you're not paying your bills with this, you're not paying your rent with this for sure. Most of the office is either flex desk, sorry, or some of them still have the own desk, but it's rapidly changing because real estate is so expensive here. So when the agency grew to a certain number, it doesn't make sense for them to have like 100 desks with only 15 agents actually present in the office to print stuff and go. So you have to basically log into other computers, which I think it's fine. That's the future. I probably think that in the next few years, we will probably go like your company where everything is just remote. That's the future of real estate. I think agents don't really need to have like the physical desk in my opinion. They need to have a community and a space where they can connect to each other, which I know that your company have. So that's definitely what's gonna be in the future. And anyway, so yeah, we almost at the end of my journey. We went really back deep in time, and now we are here in Hong Kong for this 2 years. So I came in September 2023. I find a total different market that when I left in 2019 was before COVID, everything was booming, a lot of expats were coming. And then when I decided to come back here and start everything from zero again, I thought, yes, I did it like twice already. We start in this industry from basically zero. First time in 2015 when I was a fresh new agent. Then I do this in 2019 in Switzerland, and I apply that formula and become successful. So it's impossible that it's not going to happen again in 2023. And I went there and I discovered that the market is really tough. And this is my message to all new agents. Like sometimes even with the best intention in mind and the best mindset, you still need a little bit of the luck of the market situation. So the difference with like the great agents, of course, if you do this for like 15, 20 years, you will have built enough referral and your people currency around you is so rich that good market, bad market, you will always make your sales because you have enough people. But if you jump from place to place, like I did, it's not always easy because your currency, your people currency that you built in Switzerland, unlikely that they're gonna buy from you in Hong Kong. so you are a little bit dependent on the market. So it was a bit of a roller coaster ride. Was not as easy as I wanted to, but you have to play with the cards you have in hands. So I survived it, and now we can feel that the energy and the deals are start to coming in the city again. So it's I think let's not jinx it. I will not say, but I think it's in a good process. So I have a big hope for Hong Kong to go back to what it used to be, and it is still a very vibrant city, and it makes sense that it is the financial hub of Asia. I'm sorry for all my Singapore friends, but Hong Kong is way more fun than Singapore. So come here. Here you go. So sorry, that was kind of a longer introduction. I promise now I will shut up a bit and I will let you talk. But yeah, I think this gave a good idea of like who I am, where I come from, and yeah, that's I think that's it.
That's quite a story, man. You've got quite a journey, and I think it's really interesting that you
Oh,
started in sales right
yes.
after
Yeah.
sports, obviously. So you come from a
Yeah.
sports background originally, and then you jumped right into sales. And you mentioned that one of the first things you learned was just going out there, door knocking, cold calling,
Yes.
getting rejected, right? Jumping right into the fire. Is that something that you're seeing like a lot of agents, whether around you, people that you know, maybe back in, your time in Switzerland as an agent? Is that something that a lot of new agents may be fearing or missing? Is that they're just not willing
Totally.
to go out
Yes.
there and just fail, right? Fail so that they
Yeah.
can succeed later on.
You will be amazed. Like I've evolved now. I had like some young Padawan that I took under my wings, and this is now where my heart is. Like I'm still exciting about doing deals, but I'm actually more exciting to share, the hard lesson I learned by myself by failing and having my face on the floor and then have to get myself up and go again. So if I can help them to avoid some fall, it's a great feeling, that just to help people. So like I'm a big I'm a big fan of Simon and his book, like Start with Why, right? So I think in life you need to find your purpose, and then when you find this, then it's wonderful because you never feel like you're working a day of your life. you're just being you, right? So so my fire, my purpose is definitely helping people and being creative. That's, yeah, I feel a bit like an artist. I guess I am an artist because I'm just crazy enough to be yeah. So that's what basically put the stars in my eyes, and then I can really see like the fresh new agents, like they find very creative way to procrastinate, to not do the task that will make them successful. So, you know, like a good teacher, you always let people like struggle a little bit first, because you need to experience the pain to like be able to have someone coming and offer you a solution. So yes, totally on point. I will say a lot of new agents will start in the business, and they will be yeah, no, I'm scared to I don't want to call, okay, so everybody is just like emailing or texting now, you know. And I think, you know, it's just going to the fear of rejection. The only way to deal with it is to get rejected a bunch of time, and then understand that basically it's not you they rejected. It's like either your approach, you call them at the wrong time, or you were too you know, like salesy, and then as soon as the person say hi, you're like no pause, no listen, no, yeah, you just need to say, hey, you know, like can we have like a conversation, are you free? And then just, you know, just be human, just be you. And what works for one person might not work for another, because we're all different. That's the beauty of this world, is like we are not all copycats, and we can learn from each other. And yeah, I agree with you. Like young agent, they're a bit scared of getting rejected, and then their emotion, you know, on the emotion roller coaster, because we are real estate agents and we all can relate to this. It's like 10 a.m. I received the SMS or the WhatsApp message, and then it's, ooh, yes, deal is on, and that's it. I'm gonna buy the new watch there. Looking for it. And then 1 o'clock, the problem happened. And then by 2, your deal is dead, and you are like, oh my God, I'm gonna pay the rent. And then by 4 p.m. it's back on, and by 6 you go sign. And that's a normal Tuesday for a real estate agent. So you know, you need to be able to deal with this. And at early stage in my career, I will ride that beep, you know, I will go so high and I will go so low, and then I quickly realized that it just drained all my energy. So the solution to that is to not go too high, not go too low, and stay at a constant I'm happy and everything's gonna be good. And then you just keep the ride. You just watch the people on the ride, but you are walking at your pace, and you know that at the end everything's gonna be okay. And then sometimes deals will fall apart, and there's nothing you can do. You did everything right, and the star was not aligned, and sometimes this happened. And sometimes you're like, this is not gonna go anywhere, and you have good surprises. So, and deals go and sign. So, you know, it's sometimes I hate to say that, because it's still a little bit of luck, in my opinion. And it's terrible, because I want to coach people, right? I want to help real estate agents, and this is just very honest to tell to tell the world, like, well, okay, you know, like this is all the right tactic, but at the end it's still a little bit of luck. And this, honestly, I don't, I think you can make your luck by having a good work ethic, and it will make the probability of you being a bit more lucky. So you can control it a little bit, but there is still that little something that sometimes you have no clue why everything at the end went okay. So I don't know. For me, I just think it's the mindset. So I'm always in that mindset that it's gonna be fine, everything is okay, and positive energy. The first sales I make every day, it's myself in the mirror. It's like I'm looking, I've finished brushing my teeth, and I'm like, today's gonna be an awesome day. And I'm tired, I'm hangover sometimes, or whatever happened. I don't care. I get up. It's my first sale. I convince myself that today is gonna be a great day, and I leave the door, have the smile on my face. And sometimes it works. Sometimes it's a shitty day. I will not lie. But the next day, I will still tell myself that it was a great day, and today it's going to be a great day. And if you do this enough, it become like brushing your teeth reflex, and it become very. It's yeah, it's a mindset that you put yourself into action mode. From sports background, before we go play hockey, you are in the locker room and you change, right? And hockey is very funny because you have a bunch of 23 brother in the room, and then you can really see the different personality. You have the loud guy who's like before the big game is like very vocal, and you have the joker who will relieve his stress by making fun. You have the introvert who is like with his earbud and is like just looking at the floor and getting in the zone. So whatever works for you to get in the zone, basically, do it. Right. So me, I was kind of like you will laugh, but I was very shy when I was when I was a kid. So I was the one with the earbud and looking at the floor and in my head to get ready to get pumped up in the zone. And later on, when I had to go make a living, which was not hockey, well, nobody buy from a meme. So I
Yes.
had to learn how to talk to people. When I first started, I was able to look only at their feet. And then I was kind of looking, on the side. And then slowly I was able to like look people in the eyes. But it took me like a few years to be able to do it. And then when I first started, I was also like speaking very fast because I was very scared to like, talk to you. I want to talk so fast, right? And then like suddenly it just takes time. It's like everything. You cannot pick up a new sport and then suddenly decide I'm gonna play golf and like in a week being Tiger Woods. Or it doesn't happen overnight. Like the overnight success of every big name out there, they will all tell you that it took like a lot of failure, a lot of hard work before it actually clicks. And everybody just see the hey clicks. Oh, this guy is so awesome, he had it easy. And yeah, it is a hard and tough journey in any industry, but especially in real estate. I think it takes you need to be a bit crazy to be in this industry. So that's why I totally fit in and I love it because I find a lot of crazy like-minded people that are awesome. But yeah, it is a very tough job, but it can be extremely rewarding in the human aspect and in the transaction aspect as well, because you can make a lot of money if that motivates you. It's not really the case for me. I had like agent I can see or ex-colleague who are purely motivated by the money. They really do this by the money, and everything they do is just for the money. Okay, if that works for them and they're happy, I'm not judging. Me, I was always, it's more what excites me is, yeah, I feel like a detective a bit, and then I get the case and then I can oh, okay, let's do the discovery. What do they need? What they tell you, right? And then you need to read between the line, because the clients, for some reason, buyers, they always think that they need to lie and not give you the full picture info. So then you have to read between the lines, and then they understand that you understand what they were like really thinking. So they start to trust you. Okay, build trust, done, right? And then you need to go in the market and find that dream home of theirs that is a unicorn, impossible for their budget. So then you have to educate them and show them what's the market like, and that for their budget, you know, that castle, it's gonna be a nice home, right? But it's still gonna be very nice and being their home. So that whole process of like taking a case, making kind of like they become almost friends with you, and you build that trust, that relationship, and then finally you go to the notary, and then you sign the deed with them, and you offer them a nice bottle. I always bring like a nice bottle. I don't do champagne because I think it's too obvious, but when you discuss and you go viewing with all these houses, you know that or you like rum, or you like whiskey, or they don't drink alcohol, but they like some chocolate or something. So you bring something that is relevant to the discussion you had with them when you were viewing, and it's so much more touching than just have the standard champagne like everybody, with a nice written note, and you say, here you go, thank you for your new home. And then you get awesome referrals, you get good testimonials, right? And then the case is close-ish, because you still do some you know, follow-up after 6 months. Hey, quick message, hey, it's a happy first 6 months in your new home, hope you love it. And then you keep, you know, in touch with them regularly, which give you some referral for them. If they have some friends looking, they will say, hey, contact Antoine, this guy is awesome, you know, like he really take care of us, he listens, and da, da, da. So yeah, that's for me the what make me fall in love with real estate. It's like all this aspect of like solving a puzzle, being a bit of a detective, finding the right home, and having this. And of course, I'm happy that I can eat with this and get rewarded with like a commission for all the hard work. I know that in your country there is a lawsuit going on commission, right? Happening, which is I think ridiculous. I think persons, yes, we can search online by yourself some listings, but you still need an agent who have that market knowledge and know the inside, and know how to guide you to make an informed decision. This by yourself, if you can do it, great, then you should join us in the crazy tribe and become an agent, right? but not everyone wants to join that crazy tribe. So you know, I think you should still use an agent and reward him with, you know, like a decent commission after the transaction is done. And as I always explain to all my clients, I said, you know, I'm super cheap, I work for you for free until I deliver the result. All I do before, it's free. So I cannot be like more competitive than free, right? So they're like, oh yeah. And I said, you know, like it's a lot of investment of time, money, energy. So you know, I'm giving a lot first. So trust me, when you'll be happy in your new home, I never had a client who actually like was upset to write me a check at the end, because I already delivered the service. Most of the transaction you do sometimes is like you write the check first, then you get the widget, and then the widget is beep, right? and then you try to get a refund and it doesn't work and it's a headache. With us as real estate agent, we deliver all the service. We trust you. We promise, we over deliver, and we give you that awesome service, and then you pay us. So I think it's pretty fair, right? Anyway,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. That's actually a really good way to put it, because as a real estate agent, right, you get paid only after all the
Yeah.
value is delivered up front, and then you get
Yes.
paid at the very end, versus if you're buying
Yes.
a product or service, they're always charging you up front first,
Yes.
and you're almost like guessing, right? If you're gonna get something good, if you're gonna get something broken later on as well. So it's a great way to look at it. And I think, I mean, you're just a wealth of knowledge, Antoine. You've been in multiple real estate markets, you've been successful, you have the work ethic to be successful in multiple real estate markets, starting over and over again. And I think for a lot of agents going into sales, that's the one thing they need to keep in mind is their emotional balance, right? Emotional control. You can't let the things that you can't control in a transaction control you and control your emotions. So I actually, it's funny enough that you mentioned that, because I actually took the time and the effort to make a list myself recently of, two lists of, what am I okay with if something doesn't go through, and what am I not okay with, right? And the list of things
Nice.
that I'm not okay with, those are things that I could have done. I could have done better. I could have done more.
Mhm.
The things that are not okay, that I was okay with, those are things that are completely out of my control, right? If somebody says yes or no, I don't get to decide that for them. I can only decide the amount of service that I can provide as well. So as an agent, that is exactly what you need to do and what you need to keep in mind as well. So just kind of wrap up today to touch a little bit on what you're working on right now with AI, right? So AI has been very, very popular, especially recently,
Mhm.
real estate agents, business owners in different industries as well. I'd love for you to be able to share a little bit more about not just how you are using AI in your business on a day-to-day basis, because I know we had quite of an in-depth discussion about some of the tools and how you're using these tools in AI as well, but also your new book on teaching other real estate agents how to utilize AI in their business as well. What are some practical things that you're doing, and what are some things that you foresee real estate agents should be doing going into the rest of this year and into the future as well, specifically with AI?
Yeah, sure. Well, AI it is and it must remain a tool at your service, right? So use it wisely, I will say. There is tons of tools available, and then we're not gonna advertise or list them all there, but we know the usual suspect. I would say learn how to prompt. It's a skills that is basically a must. Like 20 years ago you needed to learn how to write effective email and find the formula. Now you need to find the formula how to write the correct prompt to deliver great emails, messages. So I did myself a prompt library. I try some, and sometimes I have okay results. Sometimes I have like really crappy results, and sometimes I have like awesome results. So the crappy one I just like discard it, and then the the good and awesome I put them in my little prompt library, so I can reuse them over and over and tweak them. I did one prompt, for example, where I go for a listing appointment. I will make the web page, so I will take photo. I quite like to take the photo and the video for myself. So I have total control on this. So now what I do is I will just like do a note, and then I will come and I will try to write it myself. And then I said, well, this wastes too much time. So now I do a walkthrough with my phone when I do a memo of everything that come to mind when I'm walking into the space. And then, I don't know about you, but me, when I'm walking in a space, sometimes you feel something like energy or something. And then, so I will stop there when I feel something. I stop there and I look around and I say the first things I see. like, oh, nice, like the kitchen is nice or the light is whatever. And then I put all my thought in a total random, not structure, rambling me on my phone. And then when I go back to my desk, I take that and I transcribe it. And then I take the transcribe of all my rumbling and I put it in the chatbot, and it gave me the full listing description because I did an awesome prompt for that one in bullet points, because in our company the listing description need to be in bullet points, and it need to be separated in view, internal condition, and outdoor condition. So that's how the web page are designed in the company. So now instead of me having to do this, so it is well structured, strong call to action, and put all the key features in a very nice English. And it's done like this, which before will took me an hour. So so that's why I'm quite excited about AI, and I still see some agents who go to that manual grinding of like writing listings description, and then we all know like the trade secret, like nobody read it, right? But we still need to do it. But what people click on your listing or not is the picture, right? So I will rather you be in Photoshop for a little bit longer to make this color pop, instead of like spending an hour writing the description.
Right.
So and with AI, my description that took 60 seconds or less will still be better than yours, and still nobody will read it.
That's the real secret.
But so that's one example. Another example is like you can use. I'm experimenting now. So I clone myself, clone my voice. So I have my digital me, which is actually better than me because you don't have the French English accent. So they could not make the quite French. It's still quite close to my voice, but without the French accent, which is hilarious. So my girlfriend is like, "Oh, now I can finally understand you." So that's one way to do it. So I will film my video, and then like for the rental, I do also rentals, sales and rentals here. So rentals is more for petty cash, quick transaction, right? And then you chase the big whales. You chase Moby Dick with the big sale, but that's a longer timeline. So sometimes you need to have this quick transaction, but you still need to advertise these listings nicely. So I still do a video, but instead of like really do a proper tour, now I just do like a 1 minute video on my phone, and I don't film myself there. And then I go to my desk and I have an awesome prompt to get the listing narration for the duration of the video. So let's say it's a 1 minute. So I will ask my AI, prefer AI, to say, okay, I need a listing narration about 45 seconds. Please use the prompt. Now you can save your prompt, right? I use a lot of Gemini, and then you can save it. So you go there and it gives you the narration, then you go and use another tool and you put that here, and then your avatar starts speaking, and you drop the video there, and boom, render it. 5 minutes later, it's ready. You post it on social, and then it's not perfect, but again, not everyone will really look at it. But you need to make some noise, right? So you need to keep posting stuff. So before I will work until like 2 in the morning to edit my video that I film, because it become like a full-time job after your full-time job to create all this content. So that's why I say, okay, let's try to like make a book and then just give some example and share. This book is basically my 10 years in real estate. Kind of like a lot of things is like, if you're a seasoned pro, it's gonna be obvious and you'll say, duh, yeah, right? But if you're brand new in the industry, that it can give you kind of like a blueprint of like, okay, this worked for that guy, crazy guy, so maybe I can give it a try. Or maybe it says, oh, it's interesting, but I think, and you can make it better. It's just kind of like, okay, here you start gently into it, and then just I see a lot of agents who like give me the nonsense talk as like, oh, anywhere, like in few years, like there will be only virtual viewing with avatars, and we'll be out of jobs and stuff. I said, no, I think if you have this mindset, yes, for you, but the tools are there to, now I don't have to work until like 2 in the morning to edit my video after I follow up with my client and do all the basic stuff that AI will not replace you totally. You still need to do it, or at least know how to prompt the AI. The AI is just there to like save you time on the boring, repetitive task, right? You can set it up that it's gonna post on your social media for you, right? Can automate that. Okay, you need to post something. So okay, you can automate that. It take the article here, it gonna reshake it and repurpose it, and then we'll create an image and then put it together and then post it on your social. So all this before was click, 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 you doing all the work. And now you can have like an agent who like do, your agents, AI agents are your interns. So as good as you are to communicate what you want from them is the result. It's exactly the same as a, intern that you came in, or if you just say do this, then the intern's gonna give you crap results because he has no clue, right? And AI is very powerful tool, but if you don't voice it properly, so prompt it properly, then the result is not great. Yeah. So what I see and why I say future proof is that if you learn how to talk and prompt properly and stay curious and educate yourself and choose which tool can actually save you time, then you gain back that time to do what is actually really important, and connection with human being. Because the difference why you will take an agent, this agent instead of that agent, why work with Kobe or work with Antoine, I don't know, man. Yeah, I think Antoine is like, I always have like super interesting conversation when I go viewing with him, and of course he had a good market knowledge, which is like a given. Okay, you cannot sell a product if you don't know your product at all, right? And so again, back to basic. Yes, the AI tool will help you, but then if you go viewing with the client and you walk and you're like, no, sorry, it's there, and then you go there, and then you come back, no, it's yes, and then you go and then it's the wrong key, and then you look like an idiot and you don't inspire trust, right? So you can have the best AI system, everything is automated for you, but if you don't know where you're going and you circle that street 3 times before finding the right house that is your house to sell, then as a client, I will say, well, this guy is fun. It's like a bit of a Mr. Bean, but I'm not totally sure I will trust him with like all my savings on one of the most important purchases of my life, right? So, so basic, you need to stay in the basic. AI is a tool to help you being more productive and take all the boring task, repetitive task away. But it's not the magic pill that will transform everybody in like, hey, we don't have to work now. And I will let my avatar do all the job and then I just cash the check and go to a holiday. Yeah. That's not gonna happen. You still need to do the work. Sorry, spoiler alert. There is no secret formula, in my opinion. Some gurus says like, yeah, you can automate everything and you can make a faceless YouTube channel and make 20,000. Yeah, right. Some you see those on on Instagram. They are everywhere, right? So good for them, you know. And then sorry, some will click and some will buy the course. That's how they actually make their 20K a month, right? But anyway, I think our crazy profession is a more noble way to like make our money, and we're actually really helping people. So yeah, and yeah. So to wrap up on the AI, do your research. My advice will be like choose one or two tools and really try to master it before you jump and subscribe to the next widget, because every second day there is a new widget coming in and this is the new perfect tools that will solve all your problem. So just be cautious before you click and subscribe to everything, right? So do your research. You know, I think YouTube is awesome and have so many great people doing content and review on absolutely everything. So yeah, just before the subscribe button, just check on YouTube if someone is it has already done some research for you, and have a look and stay curious. Just I think that's the secret formula, is actually stay curious in your life, to always being looking at hey, how can I make my process better and more efficient. And for me, AI was kind of a revelation, because as I said, I'm dyslexic, so writing it's a bit painful for me. But with the tools, like I discovered that, oh no, if I prompt it the right way, then I can just put all my crazy thoughts like in all messed up, and then this kind of structure a nice email or a nice message, or you know, like refine a sales pitch, listings presentation if you go for solo agency, or all this can be now used and leveraged with AI. So we are living, I think, exciting time for our industry, just because the things that we dreamt of when I was like a new agent are actually reality. Like in my dream when I started, I was like, oh shit, listing description and nobody's reading it anywhere, but why I have to spend so much time writing it? Well, I wish, you know, I could like say whatever I think and then it's gonna make it nicely for me. Now this is not a dream, it's reality. I'm using it almost every second day when I open listings, right? You have apps. I don't know if okay, I don't want to do the plugging for them, but do you know this? This is a device that stick on your phone, right? This.
Mhm.
Right? And then I use this, it record everything, and it has chat GPT in the subscription. So when you are working with client or you have a phone call, you can just press press the button, and it records everything. And then it gives you a summary of the discussion, and you can do some custom prompt. So I have one prompt for, as I explained, when I'm doing a pre-listing. So I'm there, I'm in the apartment, and I'm talking and rumbling about everything. Then it will write me everything down here. I have one prompt when I'm with clients. Before, I will like either do voice memo when I'm with the client, or I will type, but then it looks like you are on your phone with the client. It doesn't look like you are connecting. But now with the technology, you can have this in your pocket, have a normal conversation, eye contact, and all the sales stuff that is like the basics, right? Being a decent human being and have a conversation, not an interrogation. This is also things I see, like a young agent, they're like asking questions, but like, you know, it's very inquisitive. It's like interrogation, you know, like they are coming like to you, they are coming like this, and they're like, hey, hey, how many bedrooms you need? What do you want to be? You know, like very, very like interrogative. So please, if new agents are listening, just be a human being, just be a friend, just have a normal conversation, right? And then just adapt your slang and your conversation to the person you are talking to. You will not talk to a C-level management, you know, hotshot the same way that you will talk to like a young family buying their first home, right? So, but just be a human being and have a good conversation, maintain eye contact, and shut up. You know, I would say the one of the secret sauce is also to not talk too much and give the opportunity to the other person to speak. So when they speak, and this is recording, right? Now I don't need to worry about taking notes. And then I come back and the viewing is finished. You let them go in their car. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye bye bye. Up you go to your car. Or for me now in Hong Kong in the bus or whatever, taxi, Uber, and you have the whole full transcript of your conversation, all the key points. So I make the prompt, for example. So it will give me all the things that are very important for them, the must-have, the things that are not too important, the things that could be nice to have, right? So now I have all this transcribed, and I can just copy it and send them a quick email or WhatsApp, whatever is their preferred method of communication, and say, hey, was great to meeting you today. We had super conversation. I'm looking forward to be your you know, super agent. And then just to recap our conversation. So if I understand correctly, what you must have is what will be a nice to have, or you are looking for this, that, that. It's all nice summarized, but I send this to them like 3-5 minutes after I just left them. So they are like, whoo, holy crap. It didn't take any notes, but hey, everything is there. So you look like a freaking Rayman, you know, like, right? So of course, you need to be ethical. And then I ask the clients, and I will say like, hey, you know, just to help me, I record this, right? Don't do it too sneaky because that can backfire on you, right? So so be ethical, of course, but the tools and the technology are there. And then some person don't need this at all because they have like an elephant memory and remember everybody's name. You know, I'm terrible with names, for example. I remember faces, but I'm terrible with name, right? So AI is super helpful for me because I can quickly check, and then it's there, right? Because everybody introduces themselves, and then you are like stressed. So you're like, yeah, I need to remember that. Okay, apartments is square feet, and then the price, and then this, and then the key feature, and then I said, hey, hi, and then you are in the middle of the viewing, and you're like already, oh shit, what was his name? What was our wife's name again? And right? So and then you feel embarrassed, right? so you won't ask their name again at the end of the viewing when it's the first time you meet them, right? So I had like some situation like this when I had like to like be like, hey, you know, that was a bit embarrassing. But now this doesn't happen to me anymore because it is in the device that when they introduce themselves, I will write it. So I have it black and white noted. So this is one way. And whatever is your issue, I think AI have a tool, and my advice would be, yes, there's a bit too much hype on it. Everybody now try to slap the AI on everything. So because it's trending, so you need to do your research before you jump into tools, and you need to keep in mind that this is just the tools. This is not the magic pill that will suddenly make everything so easy and you don't have to put any work in it. Yeah, that's I would say. What's your experience about AI? I know you play around with it a bit.
I do, yeah. So I absolutely 100% agree with you. I think this is something that is a little bit overhyped on the internet today, where people are talking about AI as this one solution that can fix everything and can run
Yeah.
your business for you. And then you go in, you actually apply different AI tools and you use them for your business, and you realize that is not the case at all, right? There are limitations to AI. There are limitations to what it can and cannot do. And if you want to use it correctly, if you want to use it effectively, you have to learn the skills to be able to program it and prompt it in a way where it's going to give you the results that you want, that is actually going to be beneficial for you as well. So I think for me, it's the exact same thing. These are tools that you can use in your business, but you cannot expect it to run your business. You cannot expect it to replace you in your business.
Mm,
These are
mm,
things that I love the way you put it, you pointed out, which is your AI is now replacing your traditional intern, right? Which costs you a
mm.
lot more money.
Yeah.
Can take a long time for you to find the right people to fill those positions. And
Yes.
also, there's not a lot of what you say, human resources, HR, that goes into it,
Exactly.
right? When it comes to
Yeah.
managing personalities and inefficiencies, right? AI doesn't have that. It's a machine.
Well,
So
I think to this is like, sorry, I cut you off, but
yeah.
this is an important point. I think, unfortunately, for the very young, I have children, so I fear a bit for them, but I have the feeling company is not gonna hire that starting position anymore because the AI, after you train him and you learn how to communicate with him, will deliver better results, and they will never be sick and they will never quit.
Yeah.
Because interns, let's face it, the first year they are useless. When you finally find a way to communicate with them and being efficient, they might say that they quit because they want to make an impact in the world, and they grew up on Instagram instant gratification. They want to be the CEO after 5 minutes. So yeah, it's sad, and I don't know. I think as a society, this is a whole other topic, but maybe another conversation. But we should think about where we're going. It's a little bit scary because my children, what they are gonna do, right? That schools is always 30 years late, so they're still teaching people how to sit straight, raise their hands, and be good little factory workers, right? So that's in the tomorrow world that is around the corner, and it's changing so fast. Like in 5 years we have actually no clue what's going to be. Like, science fiction scenario might be actually reality. Right? We don't know. It's going so fast. The curve is like these tools that are now in place are actually learning from us, and it's it's exciting, it's scary. I think it should be regulated, definitely, for the sake of everyone. And then, you know, like you have the US and China, like war on who has the bigger one, right? And then they want to be the number one, which is fair game. Okay, it's good, but I think they should put that it's good to be competitive, but they should agree to like keep it into some boundaries. Just, you know, anyway, what do I know? Maybe we're already in the matrix, so who cares? You know, this is all a simulation, so who knows? But I don't know. I'm torn about being. I'm not torn because I'm very optimistic. This is my personality, and everything is gonna be fine. Remember, so so maybe don't. I should not worry about it, but because as a parent, you will worry a little bit about the future for your children, and then what you see in the news is like that. But it is true that as a company owner, if you put the business hat, hire intern, and it's difficult, and they might quit when they start to actually be efficient, or spend some time to learn a new tool that will be with me until the technology that tool have is obsolete, but will be replaced by something better. And then it costs less. That's gonna be an easy choice for business owners.
Yeah, exactly.
So as an entrepreneur, as a businessman, I will say, yeah, awesome, great. But as a humanist, I think it's very hard, because how the young generation will actually learn. You need to suck for a bit and fail to be able to learn from this experience and grow, right? But if they are not even, you know, because everybody will go with the argument, the new generation, they're lazy, and the thing, no, and they have no attention span, and they want instant gratification for everything. Yes, but this is our fault. Like, we let our kids having an iPhone when they're like 7. We give them the iPad when they were 3, because as a young parents, you want an hour of break, and it's easy to give a screen to kids, and they stop, and they leave you alone for like an hour of the cartoon movie, right? And you can sleep, or, you know, try to claim your life back for a little bit, right? So we also went the easy road. We should have not give the iPad and take the storybook and read slowly to them, like our parents did. Well, actually, maybe not everyone's parents. My generation, you know, I'm 1980, so for my dad, going play with me was he will go to the terrace of a nice cafe, sit with his friend, drink his wine. He will give me a ball and say, "Go play," not on the highway, but go play, right? and then you were by yourself, or they will say, "You go out of the house and you come when it's dark, dinner time," right? And then you will go and play out with your friends. So it was a totally different. So my generation was different. I grew up like being outside. I will go to the ice rink and I will just skate the whole day and play with my friends, pound hockey, whatever, right? So it's a different way to grow up. And then our generation of like kids who are now 20s and entering into the real world. So yes, they are how they are, but I think at heart they have good intention. They want to make an impact and they want to change the world, and that's normal because they're 20. Like when I was 20, I still want to change the world, but because I'm crazy and I get stuck in that mindset that everything is possible. But and I think I will die like that. But we should help this generation get into the workplace, and just teach them a little bit, saying like, we're sorry, as parents we were maybe not great, but as business leader we can help you build that work ethic. And this is on us. This is not on them. So I just want to be clear before we get a lot of hate comments in your podcast. I'm totally not saying that this is the young generation mistake and they are useless. They are great human beings, and giving the opportunity, they will achieve great things, right? But we just need to be a little bit patient with them, because the way they were educated growing up was a very you special, you my little princess, right? Or you are my little king, and everything is giving to you so fast. And they had that technology and full of dopamine, instant gratification. So of course they are impatient, right? This is not their fault per se. This is the society and the parents' fault. And then the parents, there's not really their fault either, because if all your friends give the iPad to the kids, then you feel like, oh, my kids, they will look like the weirdo if they don't watch the TV, they don't have the iPad, whatever, right? So this is all other topic for another discussion. But I still have hope that us as a human species, we can figure this out. We will figure this out. But it should be included in the conversation, how to like bring that young generation still in the game with us and have that work ethic. Because that's, if we don't, in my opinions, like, let's go into a gloom scenario. So nobody's gonna hire this new generation. We, the working generation, for the next 15 years, gonna train the AI how to work properly, because still AI it's a great tools again, but it's still, as your intern, make mistakes. So please read before you post. Don't only copy paste, right? And double check it if you want to put your name on it. And then after we train it, then we're gonna retire it, and it's go to a zero-click internet when it's AI bots and agents talking and selling to each other. So then where do we fit in this? Like, what's gonna be our repurpose? Are we going to the universal income? Are we, and if so, okay, why not? At the end, that would make sense, because we are the only species. Think about it for 1 second. Let me rumble for a little bit. Now you got me started. We are living on a rock, okay? That is spinning in the universe. Okay, and that rock, that rock, if you think about it, it's so crazy. That rock is spinning around a big ball of fire, okay? And then we are here living, and then, so then all this make already no sense, but bear with me. And then we decided as a species, the only one who are living in this, sharing this planet with like the other species, but we decided that for some reason, we need to go to work every day to get some little piece of like papers, right? So that we can take this and then give it to someone, so we have the right to like have a shelter on top of our head and buy food. So that we are only species that actually need to pay to have the right to live on the planet. Right? That makes no sense at all, right? So when you take this in perspective, okay, done. My crazy brain is going like that. Then you can wonder about a lot of things. So I think we should be more, connected to what is really important, like this human connection, and get together as fellow humans, and not let the tools being our master in the future. Because if we keep going for profit, because why AI is such a big boom suddenly is because big corporates just realize, like, you say that now I can give like one person to work like for 10% because he can be more productive and use this tool. And well, by the way, I will still pay that one person. Like I fear for the, all the marketing departments that have like 10 people, they will keep 2 via 8, and they will still do the load of 10 people, but they will have to like be smart and use the tools, but they will be overworked for sure. And I'm pretty sure they won't pay them much more. They will have a small raise and saying like, oh, because we invest in these tools that make you more productive, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a bit that's me when I'm sometimes I'm, because yin and yang, so I'm always super positive and everything is great, but sometimes my brain go a bit in the dark side. So this is what I see that could happen, and I hope that us as fellow humans, we will just make a stop and say like, hey, this is great tools, but it need to stay tools, and it need to be a tool that is human centric, like helping us be better, have more time, be more efficient at work. So maybe now we could have like a 4 days work week, right? So we have more time to actually connect with friends and family and being offline. So I think that's gonna be a trend in the future. I could see a lot of actually, I had, because of my ADHD brain, sometimes I have like million business idea a day. Luckily now, because of the AI tools, I can stay a bit more focused, which is good. So sometimes I just dump them, in one chatbot, and I'm like, okay, that idea is like for later. And then I don't feel that when I have the ideas, I usually need to stop and I need to work on it. And this was my problem, because you cannot focus on anything. So now I can offload it from my brain, and I feel like, oh, okay, it's in the process, so I can refocus on something else. So that's also a good use of AI. So one of the idea was to do like the off-grid or offline wellness facilities where you could have like retreats for people to come and hug a tree, whatever. But I could see this will be like a huge business opportunity for someone, because of everything is going so fast, and everything is, yeah, it's very hard to have like a real conversation. In more of the customer service, you reach, you call, it's like an AI.
Yeah.
So people will be seeking that real human connection in the near future. And I think because of the tools, now acing your test, like what you are taught now in school, is basically how to ace test, right? You have to memorize stuff so you can put it in the multiple choice, click, 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 done, done, done. After 15 minutes, the test is over. You have no clue, because you have to like, you puked it, it's done. Now you need to, like a bulimic, take some quick information for your brain for another like 2 weeks for the next steps. And then you were not curious about why it is like that, or all this, right? So also another debate about school.
Yeah.
I think and you don't need this anymore, because this is trying to compete with a machine that has all the knowledge that exists on internet, can deliver this in like a fraction of a second. So think about this. Like I had a chat with a young girl, about 21, and then she's still at uni, and I met her just like that. And then she's like, yeah, like I said, what do you study? Finance. And then, oh, great, great. I don't know, I don't really like it, but my parents, I need a degree, so I'm there. Oh, okay. And then, well, I graduate and I'm gonna be an accountant. And I was like, are you sure you want to compete with an AI bot to be an accountant? I'm not sure that it's a wise 4 years investment of your energy and time. But they are still like taking people to like, do a degree in accounting, where accounting, low level, like lawyers, these guys are gone. Like it's gonna be no use. Why I will need to pay one when I will have a bot will do everything for me for a fraction of the cost. So it's it could be great. It's gonna be okay. This is my my baseline. It's gonna be okay, but we still need to worry just a little bit to make sure it stay okay. Yeah, does that make sense? Like I was a long rumbling. Sorry, my brain. We've been talking for some times, and then I'll try to stay as much as I could, like saying, but yeah, it's a bit like that. My brain sometimes will go a bit everywhere. Sorry.
It's good, man. I thought that was a very powerful conversation we just had because, it's interesting to look at AI from one side, right? And all the possibilities and what it can do, but if you don't think about what it's going to bring to, the economy and also just overall the newer generations coming up as well
Mm,
and find solutions, right? Understanding what are the skills that we need to be teaching the next generation, what are the skills that we need to be developing in order to stay ahead, right? In order not to fall behind in this new age where the machines, right, the AI are coming through. I think
mm,
that's very important as well. So that makes perfect sense, what you've just outlined for us. And I think it's, for real estate agents specifically, but for also newer generations coming up, it's important to take an approach where you are learning the skills that you need to know what AI cannot replace you, right? And you need to be
mm.
mastering those skills. You need to not be afraid to fail, to be bad at it
Yep.
first, even if you're not good at it now. Be bad at it first, and then you're going to get good at it, just like your experience, just like any other real estate agent's experience as well. When they were first starting out, they got rejected, they were bad, and then
Yes.
later on, a few years later, they got better and they were good at it as well. So, Antoine, man, I appreciate you for spending so much time with us on the podcast, sharing your
No,
insights,
no worry, anytime,
unfiltered
brother.
insights. And I
I
want you to share a little bit about how people can get in contact with you, right? If they want to learn more about what you do, if they're an agent that want to learn from you, or if they want to get a
Yeah,
copy of your
sure.
book, what are some
Yeah,
places?
sure. They can have a peek at my website, which is my name, so devolz.com. So they can have a look. It's a basic website. It's a work on progress. So they have some links that are a little bit buggy. So apologize for that. But I did it myself. So I try to learn this as a side project. So it's not perfect, but they can have a look for that first. There is a link for the book. I have actually two books there on Amazon. So I have Future Proof Agent and I have Ignite Your Agency, which is more for small boutique, medium size real estate agency who want to like do their marketing right. So I put examples and kind of a blueprint in it. So I hope that will help. And then yeah, I would just like to conclude, as you said, what's important for the next generation. The emotional intelligence. I think this is what is the most important, and you should develop that skills. This is the key for succeed in any business, and especially in the future to come, where all the information data will be taken care of by the machine. So we need to make what make us human, which is that connection, that empathy, that little spark that
Yeah.
the machine don't have. Like, my AI avatar, like it's quick, it's good, but I had comment from my friend. They said, still a copy of you. it doesn't have that spark. I said, well, it does. I hope so, because like I don't want to be totally replaced. And again, I went to this is just a tool, and it make me like faster, and I can have like few hours more sleep. So I will use it. It's not perfect, but it's good enough for the purpose I have for this, and it gives me more time to be like well rested and being like really deeply connecting with my clients. So that's I think the key takeaway of this talk is like, if I had like only one advice to give, is like just connect with people like deeply, like you really care, as you should as a good agent. You need to care for your clients, and then when you do that, then like I'm a big fan of Ryan Serent. Right? I follow him since I didn't see him in the $1 Million Listings. I actually got his book when I started in real estate in 2015. And I said, well, okay, I'm an agent now. So I just went on Amazon and Audible at the time, because I'm an audio learner. And I download this book, and that become my Bible, right? And then was, this guy is awesome. So I registered on this platform, and I did all the courses that he have, right? And then I learned tons actually from him. But the one of his core message is like, nobody like to be sold, but everybody love to shop with a friend, right? And when you think about that statement, is so true and so powerful. It is basically saying, if you have empathy, if you're a decent human being, like not salesy, then you will build trust, you will have engaging conversation, and you will be able to achieve great results. So yeah, I will say that's the advice. And then thank you so much for having me on your podcast. It was a blast, great conversation. I'm looking forward for many other conversations with you, maybe not shared with the whole world, but or maybe with, who knows. But feel free to like call me and stay in touch, because I really appreciate you, man. And I think if you come to Hong Kong, give me a shout. I'll show you around. We're gonna have some fun. But we don't do a podcast the next day in the morning. Just the head up. Because I think coffee will be not enough to get us back up. But we'll have a good time when you come, right?
Awesome, man. I appreciate you, Antoine. Thank you so much for being on the show, man. Guys, make sure to go check out his website and his books. We'll leave a link in the description and show notes down below. Appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next show. Enjoy the conversation, man.
Yeah. Take care, brother.
Yeah.